You have the feeling that they should have moved on from Dak.
I said it the day after the Green Bay game. I would have moved on from everyone, though. I mean, at some point you realize this version is as good as we are going to be. And part of it was knowing what was down the line financially. Part of it was understanding the $60 million cap hit.
There it is. Some of that ignorance within your analysis. Dak Prescott's cap hit can easily be brought down to where it's 7 to 8% of the cap versus 22% of the cap with a simple extension. All they have to do is extend Dak Prescott for another 3 or 4 years, and that cap hit is going to come all the way down. It's not really an issue. We see teams like Philadelphia. We see teams like the Buffalo Bills, which we're about to jump into. I'm telling y'all, buckle in for this video. We see all these other teams with these high-priced quarterbacks still able to make moves to fill the proper needs on the team. The Cowboys have literally just been putting flexi glue on all the little cracks that's been popping up in their worship this whole time. And Dak Prescott and his play, specifically last season, buoyed the damn worship and made it look as if it was capable of going into battle, when really that mug was ready to sink as soon as it set sail, just based off of the gaps that were on that team, not being able to stop the run. But again, bro, this is about to be a good one.
And in sitting there going, okay, well, he's a good quarterback. He's had moments of really good quarterback play, but we, for some reason, as a team, can't get past who we have to get past to achieve the ultimate goal. If they were serious about winning Super Bowls, was there, and I know there's a no-trade clause in his contract, but players waive no-trade clause for certain situations.
And see, even that, I can't let it slide. Dak isn't a good quarterback. He's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. By the numbers, by the resume, by whatever you want to go by the way he plays a position, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
Is there a way where they could have moved on from Mike McCarthy, traded Dak Prescott, regained assets, and built the football team up and maybe got a different player at quarterback that did different things in different situations, Bri? Like, I think that's the reality of who the Cowboys are. They've in many ways peaked this version.
I want y'all to pay attention to how Dan Graziano and Dominique Foxworth are looking over there. The look on Dominique Foxworth's face looks like borderline disgust to me. And come on, bro. These dudes are tired of hearing this. And I think at this point, a lot of these dudes have had a chance to take a step back. And they've seen how they've covered Dak Prescott. And they starting to be like, all right, bro, like, we are doing a little bit too much. Like, it's getting uncomfortable, bro. It's getting uncomfortable the way that people like Dan Orlovsky and LaShawn McCoy, these types, try to stretch these narratives, bro. I'm about to rip all of this apart. I want y'all to really buckle in, because this video is about to be intense. At some point, you realize you have to stop talking about things that you clearly have no clue what the hell you're talking about, Dan Orlovsky. Because you see, those of you that agree with the sentiment that Dan Orlovsky is laying on the table, you can't have it both ways, especially if you call yourself a Cowboys fan and you seem to feel the way that Dan Orlovsky feels. You can't have it both ways. You see, either Dak Prescott is the reason the Cowboys lose in the playoffs every single season, or Jerry Jones has no idea what he's doing as it pertains to roster building, and they're cheap in free agency. They don't make enough timely moves in the trade market during the offseason, during the regular season, and they don't fill the correct gaps. Either they can't stop the run and they're a soft team that can get bullied if a team runs the ball down their throat, or the team is losing solely because of Dak Prescott. Y'all can't have it both ways. But it's just interesting to me that Dan Orlovsky is suggesting that because he just thinks that the Cowboys need a quarterback that's going to do different things in the playoffs. He thinks that the Cowboys need that type of quarterback because of what exactly? Because of the results? Because they've lost like 31 other teams in the league? Because they couldn't get to the Super Bowl, just like one of your favorite boy toys that you like to diddle with? Oh, speaking of said boy toy, if the Cowboys need to get rid of Dak Prescott, if we actually take a look at it, if we really take a look at it, that means the Bills should be trying to get rid of Josh Allen, right? Because those two are almost mirror images of each other, just in different conferences, if you actually take a look at it. And actually, Dak Prescott has been a much better player than Josh Allen. And even
in his playoff losses, which we're about to take a look at, I'll give you a couple of those. He could have played better, for sure. Every dog has his day. I'm not expecting Dak Prescott to play like prime Joe Montana every time he goes on the field. But we can't, in one word, say, oh, the team has deficiencies. They don't have any linebackers. They can't stop the run, which has been a reoccurring theme throughout Dak Prescott's entire career. Or the Joneses can't build an actual roster to supplement winning championships, which we have actually seen as well, right? According to all the things that you guys talk, I'm gonna talk about the stuff that you guys talk about. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the stuff that I want to talk about. And see, I want to talk about this 2-5 playoff record by Dak Prescott. Yes, this record could be better. I'm not going to sit here and piss in a Gatorade bottle and call it lemon lime. But at the same time, I also watch football, which I assume an NFL analyst such as yourself would do as well. I also remember the context of these games. I also remember how these games played out. I also can go back and take a look at some empirical data to really drive this point home. If we take a look at this, let's take a look at one of Dak Prescott's losses against the Green Bay Packers, against a prime Aaron Rodgers in 2017. That's one of the losses on his record, right? Well, do you think he played well enough to win this game? 24 for 38, 63 completion percentage, 302 yards, a 7.9 average, 3 touchdowns. He threw a pick, but his rating was 103.2. Oh, and if you don't remember, that was the game in which Mason Crosby essentially cemented his name in Green Bay lore with the Legatron kick after the defense gave up a wide open sideline catch 30 yards down the field to the tight end to set them up for the game-winning field goal. But I do remember rookie Dak Prescott leading his team down, taking the lead to end the game and potentially putting his team in position to actually win said game, but the defense let him down. But that's a loss, right? You need a quarterback to do something different in that situation against prime Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, right? In his rookie season. That's one of his playoff losses, right? Okay, let's take a look at another playoff loss. The Los Angeles Rams. Let's take a closer look at this one, right? The Rams beat the Cowboys 30-22 in the 2018 NFC Divisional game on January 12th, 2019. Because a lot of you guys' memories seem to be a little bit foggy. So I wanna go ahead and give you guys a jump start with your memory because you've been digesting too much of the ignorance that people like Dan Orlovsky like to spill on ESPN, right? But I'm going to jumpstart it for you. Don't worry. If we take a look at this one, interesting. Dak Prescott, 20 for 32, 266 yards, an 8.3 average, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, a 99.2 quarterback rating in this game as well. But he had no help on the ground. Ezekiel Elliott, 20 carries for 47 yards, a 2.4 yard per carry average with 1 touchdown. His leading receiver that game, Michael Gallup, had Amari Cooper balling. But outside of that, nothing else was happening. Are we blaming this one on the quarterback as well? Y'all memory starting to kick back in a little bit for how these losses actually looked outside of the San Francisco games? We can even look at those real quick as well. When you have C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley run for almost 250 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground with a 5.3 yard per carry average and a 7.2 yard per carry average. Your memories starting to kick back in a little bit about how great of teams Dak Prescott has had in the playoffs that he couldn't win with when your defense can't stop a runny nose on the ground. So we gonna blame that loss on Dak Prescott as well, right? We're gonna blame that one on him as well, right? And even in that circumstance, when a team doesn't even have to throw the ball and they're running the ball, bro, they lost by 1 possession. Very interesting. Another game. This one was 23-17. Okay, 23-17. Remember, the 49ers defense has been salty for the last few years. Top defense, okay? Remember that. Let's take a deeper and closer look at what happened, because everyone likes to only look at the quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo only completed 16 passes in this game, didn't throw a single touchdown, threw an interception, right? How did they win? How did they put up 23 points? Elijah Mitchell, 96 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown, 3.6 yard per carry average. Not bad. Deebo Samuel ran the ball 10 times for 72 yards. A 7.2 yard per carry average for a touchdown in this game as well. Oh, what did the Cowboys do? What actually happened? What was going on here? What the heck happened, right? Dak Prescott, 23 for 43, 254 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Got sacked 5 times. Sacked 5 times. Keep that in mind. Pressure all game. 69.3 quarterback rating. Was not a good night for Dak. Not going to act like it was either. Context is key. Ezekiel Elliott, they ran the ball 16 times total. 15 times total in this game. This is boy wonder Kellen Moore years, guys. This is when I say Kellen Moore was here. This is what I was talking about. We see what he just did to Justin Herbert this year. Another one of you guys' golden boys. We see what Kellen Moore made the Chargers look like this year. They were supposed to take a step forward. They made the playoffs the year before. They were supposed to come back and make the playoffs and make some noise this year. Justin Herbert was supposed to be an MVP candidate. They were supposed to have a number 1 offense. Because Kellen Moore is the reason the Dallas Cowboys had a number 1 offense, right? But excuse me, if Jason Garrett's been here and Kellen Moore has been here, Mike McCarthy's been here, all these offensive coordinators and coaches have been here, and they've consistently had a number 1 offense since Dak has been here. I wonder what the common denominator in that is when you're getting 12 carries for 31 yards and a 2.6 yard per carry average. And Dak was your leading rusher in this game. 4 carries for 27 yards and a touchdown. All your offense came from QB1, y'all. All your offense came from QB1 in this game. No help in the run game. No help in the run game. Our defense getting gashed by Deebo. Silly penalties. This was the game where Randy Gregory and those guys were getting silly penalties. I think it was a defensive holding called at a pivotal point in this game, actually. That ended up leading to a touchdown for the 49ers, I believe. There was a defensive holding called on the defensive lineman. Y'all remember that? Y'all don't remember that, do you? Because y'all have selective memory. I think I've proven my point with how these games look. We all remember how the Green Bay game played out. Okay, he threw that pick. He also threw for 400 damn yards on a 68 passing completion percentage. Still kept putting points on the board to at least give his team a chance if the defense would have ever fought back. 2023 San Francisco game. We can look at context on that one, but I remember Tony Pollard getting hurt and nothing going after that. After TP got hurt, I remember nothing going after TP got hurt. We can look at this one as well. Oh, again, putrid running game. 10 for 26, 6 for 22. Dak almost outrushed everybody, had a best yard per carry average out of everyone. Another putrid game, but Dak threw too many interceptions in this one. This one was winnable. This one I will put on Dak's back as well. I will put this one on Dak's back. It was a stinker. But what are we talking about? So we see 2 and 5. And we just did the whole breakdown. We went through all of it. We see 2 and 5. But we did the whole breakdown. After listening to that with a reasonable mind, how much of that can you really put on the quarterback when you listen to the context of what was going on? Interesting. Now, let's take another deep dive, shall we? Josh Allen in the playoffs. He's beating nothing but scrubs. If he wasn't playing Skylar Thompson or Phillip Rivers on his last leg or Tyler Huntley for the Baltimore Ravens because Lamar gets hurt. If he wasn't playing those guys, he loses to them. He loses to them. Those are the quarterbacks that Josh Allen is beating in the playoffs, y'all. Skylar Thompson for the Miami Dolphins, 18 of 45. Come on, Skylar Thompson is a layup, right? Any quarterback should have beat that dude. Mac Jones for the Patriots. Mac Jones is who we beat, right? Tyler Huntley and Lamar Jackson, who also is a playoff stinker that we can talk about as well, since people want to move on. Baltimore should move on from Lamar if that's the case, right? But then if we take a look at Dak and Josh Allen, let me move. An interesting story is told. In 12 less games played for Dak Prescott compared to Josh Allen due to injuries, albeit Josh has the winning advantage. I'll give him that. I'm going to show everything. I'm not going to sit here and cut out bits and pieces of context to try to make my point, because reality makes my point. 12 less games, almost identical passing yards, 22,468 for Dak, 22,703 for Josh Allen. Dak had 12 less games played. Dak has a higher completion percentage. Passing yard per attempt, Dak has the advantage. Passing yards per game, Dak has the advantage for about 30. Passing touchdowns, again, in 12 less games played, Dak's only behind Josh Allen by 13. You can assume Dak will probably get about 1 or 2 a game. So even at 1.5 on the low end, he would have about same amount, a little bit more passing touchdowns. Interceptions, 12 less games played. Dak has thrown 21 less interceptions than Josh Allen. Quarterback rating, Dak has 100 quarterback rating. This is since Josh Allen's been drafted, by the way. I went from 2018 to 2024. This is since Josh Allen's been drafted. Dak has been the better quarterback.
And I know it's coming, so I'll give you this. Josh Allen is a much better running back than Dak Prescott.
But the Cowboys need to move on from Dak. They have the same accolades, 2 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro. And yes, Josh Allen's was an All-Pro second team, not first. What are we talking about? It's just extremely disingenuous to me when you can fix your mouth to create these type of contrived narratives for no reason, because really all you're doing is you see what's going on with Cowboys Nation on X. You see what's going on. And all you're doing is you're trying to pluck at the strings of those who have fallen into this miserable cycle of wanting to hate Dak Prescott. So that way their perception of everything going on is skewed and it's flawed. You see, I have no reason to be a fanboy of Dak. Dak has never reached out to me. I've never spoken to Dak Prescott. I have no reason to have an allegiance to him. I'm a Cowboys fan who simply got tired of the media doing exactly what you're trying to do right here, Dan Orlovsky, to our players on our team. And this is going on before Dak, but it's just at a whole different level since Dak has gotten here. And as a player and as a man looking from afar, I admire Dak Prescott. And I appreciate what he represents just for us, people that look like me. I appreciate what he represents, a man that goes about his business and does things the right way and handles himself with class and composure and tact 99% of the times. So I appreciate that and I admire that in him. And so the fact that I can sit here and be a student of the game and really just appreciate football and love football as a sport, and I can watch it with objective eyes, and I can go back and watch film that's provided to us by way of NFL Plus, All Access, and all that other stuff. It's great. It's a great tool, right? I can go and look at the games live. I can rewatch the games, see how the emotions of the game shifted, what was actually happening. Because I make money doing this. I make a good amount of money doing this now. And I appreciate all of you guys watching and everybody in the future that's going to watch for allowing me to have this platform to dive into the thing I love and be able to cover it in a way that resonates with you guys, because you're tired of seeing this type of stuff, right? You're tired of people being influenced by this type of stuff. You see, I don't have many insults to throw at you this time. I'm going to just throw facts at you. I don't have to insult you. Because at the end of the day, the way that you're going about your business and handling your job is an insult to yourself more than anything I can ever say, because that shows your character and that shows who you are and how you move and how you go about your business and how you're just simply a puppet for whatever the higher ups and your bosses want you to say. And if you're not, then you're simply a moron. And that's all I have to say. At the end of the day, Dak Prescott is still an all-pro quarterback who's a top 3 to 5 quarterback in the National Football League, and it's undeniable, undisputable. At the end of the day, we still the same old damn Cowboys, and you still ran out the back of the end zone.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Shut up, my boy. Hey!